This is another Rival Books of Aster gameplay video where we're going to be showing off the collectible card game Rival Books of Aster that we built. I'm Wayne Shipley.
I'm Adam Bradley.
And what you're going to see today is my Thurgia ramp deck, which is interested in getting extra ink quickly and dumping out Simula into play quickly. The Thurgia in our lore of our game are lots of beasts of the earth, and they're concerned with growth and the winds and nature mostly, and the art style is inspired by sort of like high medieval illuminated texts. You'll see that when I start putting spells into play.
I'm going to be playing my Heptameron armor deck. The Heptameron are the houses of gods and men. So there's a lot of small creatures and a lot of big banging creatures that Simula that come out later as well. So what this deck is trying to do is it's trying to set up board states to be able to add armor and make it very, very difficult to take the control away from me on the board.
So I'm going to hop into my play screen here, pick my decks, and 3, 2, 1, let's queue up.
Hilarious. You gotta cancel it.
Oh, give that another shot. Were you ready?
Yeah, I was in the deck builder, you know.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's try that again.
3, 2, 1, queue. All right, opponent found. We've been connected on the server for a game. What you're seeing on the screen is my iPad screen. Adam's got his own iPad behind me. So we're going to be narrating the game from my point of view. You'll see everything happening though. So as always, we're going to start off with mulligans here, and I'm going to try and dig for things that I want to start the game with. Send those back into the deck and get some new cards, and that's a little bit better. I won the coin toss, so I'm going to go first, and I have a Simula that I can play here. This green Simula named Capriel. He's a 2/1, 2 attack, 1 health. I'm going to put him into play. He can't attack the first turn he's inscribed, so I'm going to pass the turn. You can see looking at him, when he leads a combo, I'm going to get an extra ink. So this is part of my strategy of building extra ink and getting things out quicker than I otherwise should be able to.
So I'm going to go ahead and play Dabranos. And then because I went second, one of the ways to balance out going second is we have what we call the Seal of Aster. And so I'm going to play that, which is going to give me an extra ink. And I'm going to play what we call combined creatures. And what a combined creature does is it stacks onto what you have. So if you can see that Dabranos is a 1/2 up here. I'm going to play Bukon, but I'm going to play him on top of Dabranos. And what this means is they're going to combine their stats together. And so now I have a 2/3. So what I was trying to do was use my turn 1 to actually counteract what's been put down here in case we have an exchange that goes on. So then I'll pass the turn.
Hoping I draw something here to get my combo going before my Simula gets eaten, and I do not, which is unfortunate. I've got 2 ink available to me. You can see that to the right of the bottom right screen. And I've got a bunch of 4s. So I think I'm just going to get 2 damage into Adam's face here. I mean, I know what's coming. Next turn, he's got a creature with 2 attack and 3 health that can do battle with my 2 attack, 1 health Capriel and live. So I'm positive that's what we're going to see happen.
So I'm actually going to play a second combined creature and make him a lot bigger. And so one of the things that this does is it actually stops me from attacking, but I'm trying to set something up going forward. So as you can see, one of the things I could have done was attack first and then play the combined creature on top of that. Wayne and I will probably debate that one going forward. We'll see if it works out.
Well, you at least should have attacked me my
On the
player.
face.
Yeah.
Correct.
So a little misplay there from Adam. Which gives me...
Couldn't be that I wanted you to show the ramp strategy in the gameplay. Could it?
I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm not able to ramp efficiently, unfortunately. I didn't draw the right spells to make that happen. So I'm going to get 2 damage in to the player. I have a combined Simula myself here in Servial, the 1/2. So I can play this on my Caprio and make a 3/3, which I'm going to do. So he rumbles a little bit better with Adam's 3/4. And I think that's the right play on that turn.
So I'm actually stuck a little bit here, so I'm just going to clear the board off.
So Adam wins that encounter, obviously. He's left with a 3/1 in play. I'm not too upset about it, ultimately, because he's got a pretty big creature in play otherwise, and I don't mind taking 3 of its health away for later turns.
And I'm going to play what's called a snare. So you can see here that it's showing on Wayne's screen that a snare has been played, but you don't know which spot that I've played it on. And it's essentially a trap that when it attacks, Wayne attacks that space, it's going to pop the snare.
So now I need to be thinking about whether he has played it on his Simula or has he stashed it on one of his other spaces. A snare is played on a game board slot, any of your 5 slots, not necessarily on a Simula. It's attached to the spot. So it could be anywhere. And that's one of the ways you can play mind games is now when I get to round 2 attacking eventually, I need to worry about where that is and if I'm going to trigger it. Sometimes if a snare is played early in the game, your opponent may forget about it later in the game. So what am I going to do? I think I'm going to throw my Zabriel down. He's a 3/2. Just get a little bit of board presence and pass the turn. If he doesn't get killed here next turn, I can make an attack. He can lead or help build a combo. So
I played Tafrak. Tafrak actually has the ability that we call Headstrong, which means that he can attack on the first turn that he gets put down. This is totally a responsive play to Wayne playing, is that Zabriel? Zabriel, yeah. And so I really just want to set him down, clear the board, and leave my Bukon up. As we've shown in the previous one, you'll see going forward, combos need to be set up with different colors. And so this could, putting 2 blacks in relation to each other, could actually stop it. But one of the things is that I'm going to attack right away and probably just use this guy as someone that's kind of a throwaway. So that's the plan.
So basically Adam's just keeping the control of the game tempo here. His guys are all hurt, but he's got them in play and he gets 3 damage to my face now. So I'm definitely behind again. And I guess it behooves me to just keep getting some guys in play here. So Camiel's going to come down. He's a solid dude. If he leads a combo, he gives 1 armor. Anyone who watched our first video saw him do a lot of work. He's going to die probably to the Tafrak if I have to guess. But got to keep climbing up, try and get some tempo back.
So I am going to take him off the board to try and keep a little bit of control. I'm also going to play another headstrong character, Salem, and this is really just to get damage on the board. I'll attack to the face with both and then pass the turn.
I think I'm going to get my Armenadiel in play. He's a 5/4. He's got headstrong. He's one of our red sort of captains of the House Thurgia. Kind of sucks blowing such a powerful spell here, but he is going to help me get some tempo. I need to remember that there's a snare on the board, and I think the snare is probably on the 3/1 Bukon that's been combined a couple times.
Is it?
So
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. It could be anywhere. It could be over here on this Salem. I'm going to play it what I think is safe and attack the Salem. No snare triggered. So the reason I did that is now if Adam wants to kill my Amenadiel next turn, barring anything else that he plays, he's got to attack his Bukon into it rather than me attacking the Bukon and probably triggering a snare. So even though I left the bigger Simula in play, hopefully I've taken a little bit of initiative back by making that decision.
So I played a 1/9 wall that gives armor, and so at the very least I've bought myself a little bit of tempo with the one of his big creatures on board. I'm still not going to attack into it though, because he has to attack my wall. When I put up the defensive unit, he doesn't have a breach, does he?
No,
No.
no breach.
So he's going to have to attack my wall first, which buys me at least with 2 turns to figure something out. And I think that that's the best move. So I'm going to attack into the face and leave him on the board. Now this could actually turn out to be really bad for me, but his combo is draw 1 spell at the end of turn, and I'm not too worried about it at this point, considering he's got 4 in his hand already to get an extra card. So I think that I can do enough damage without that actually happening and actually changing the game. So I'll pass the turn.
So, I mean, I'm still wondering now, is the snare where he's got the Great Blockade here, the wall with these face stomach guys? There's a chance. It would be nice to start doing some damage to it, but it would really suck to not end the turn taking advantage of this combo of our Armenadiel. I'm going to play a boon here. A boon is like a modifier you can put on a creature or a Simula. As long as that Simula is in play, that ability is granted. So I've given myself an extra ink with the boon, the Northern Stores, and I can get my Cameo down. So I've actually feeling pretty good right now. I think I am going to attack the wall and risk popping the snare, because if I do and something bad happens, I still have a 2 Simula combo. And it didn't. So feeling pretty good. I'm going to draw a card here at the end of turn because of my combo leader's ability, and I'm going to get 2 damage to my opponent because of my 3 Simula combo. I get that bonus. So drawing extra extra cards is one of the best things you can do, because the more spells you have at any time, the more options you have, and spells are really the biggest and best resource that you can have in this game or in any CCG. So that was big for me. This just sucks for me. Adam's just played a really big boon there, which gives 2 armor and 2 attack to all his Simula. So now he's got 3 armor on everything in play.
The problem is you have a good board that I pretty much have to trade.
Three armor is a lot. We've tried to design the game that it's difficult to get up to that point, and it should never happen until the later in the game, which is the point we're at. So building up a lot of armor is one of the strongest things you can do. As you can see, he just lived through that attack because of the 3 armor.
And the reason why I attacked here was because I needed him to live. The combo is what's giving the armor here, and the boon is also on the wall. If I take the combo away, he just goes down. He goes down to 2 armor, and he can actually be removed pretty easily. So I'm really trying to hold on here. What you're seeing is a game that's unfolding that's actually pretty balanced. I don't think either of us know exactly what's going to happen right now. It's really a matter of how the next couple of turns play out. It's going to really dictate the end of the game.
So I need to clear some of this. Oh, I must attack my opponent's wall, of course. I'm just going to build my combo up. I still want to draw that card at the end of the turn from my Armenadiel and hopefully find something that can help me get out of this. He's still got that snare, which I think is on the 5/1. So I'm just going to pass the turn and take my spell. Deal 2 damage to my opponent.
Interesting, very interesting.
It's a lot to think about in a situation like this.
This is just one of those moments where what I do right here could decide the game. I have quite a few options, and I could actually. I think what I'm going to do is this.
Yeah, this is likely the end of the road for me.
And then
now he's got 4 armor.
And then I'm going to play this character with Headstrong, because what I want to do is I want to empty out that card draw. So essentially sacrifice that character to trade. And now because I have 4 armor and my Bukon has 5 attack, I can actually play into and clear that without dying.
Yeah.
So it took a while to think there, I ran out of time, but my turn was done anyway. And because I now have a 3-card combo, it'll do 2 damage to Wayne's face as well. And he's in a pretty bad spot. Even if he attacks into my Talvi, he's going to have to trade. But one of the things that you can't forget is that I have a wall up, which means he's going to have to attack into the wall. And the wall's got 4 armor right now, which is really difficult to get
So
through.
actually what I'm going to do is play a word that takes abilities away from my opponent's Simula. which is kind of a mixed blessing because he's lost the wall ability, so I don't have to attack it, but now it can attack me back. But it does let me clear the Talvi. I'm still basically in a pretty bad situation, but he's got 3 armor only instead of 4. That's something. What this game is showing particularly is how much of an important role board control plays in Rival Books of Aster. He started off just combining up 3 little weenie creatures into that Bukon that's still in play and plaguing me, and I know there's a snare on it, and it just, what it amounts to is gaining tempo and controlling advantage the entire time. So I've just been fighting an uphill battle since the beginning because Adam managed to control the board better than I did.
And so what I've done here is, because if you remember, he still has a boon on, right? Which is why you can see him glowing here. When I play Carafas, he actually gains all that armor and gets a boon to his attack, which makes him very, very scary. And now the decision that's left here on the trade is, what is he going to actually attack? So I'm in a really good spot here, because if he thinks the snare is here, he's got a real problem attacking into that guy, which gives me 5 damage. I have 8, and he took the wall away from here, but he still has 3 attack, and he's got a lot of armor. So it's looking pretty grim for Wayne right now.
Yeah, I mean, if this weren't a game that we were recording and doing commentary on, I would probably do myself the service of conceding and finding another match. But we'll play it out. I've drawn a word Earth Magic that's going to let me draw 2 spells, which maybe helps. We'll see. See some stuff I probably would have liked to have earlier in the game. Yeah. I mean, I can't do much. I can boon up here, gain an attack and an armor. And let's figure out what the snare was. I'm going to die, so destroy attacking Simula. There he goes.
So now one thing you can see is my first couple of turns were about building this guy up, and he looked pretty innocuous when he started. And then even though maybe I made a mistake by not attacking into him, there was a reason why I wanted to set it up to get that snare there. If we are still being competitive here, losing a character at this point in the game when there's 10 ink, that could have been a huge character that attacked in to try to break the combo up and lose. So it turned out to be really good.
Another thing that Adam had going for him this game that I could never get off the ground this particular game was he had active combos the entire time. Yeah, there's the other side of the board. He had active combos the other time, which just gave him a huge advantage the whole game through. I failed to draw what I needed off the bat to play out my strategy, which was to ramp up my ink, get some big simul out quicker than I should be allowed to, and try and gain the advantage that way. Didn't happen, and Adam just took control of the board and won. So thank you for watching another one of these videos. There's going to be more of these in the series. Adam's grinning smugly because he's now up 2-0 on me.
Oh my god!